Today, I'd like to start out by talking about traffic safety in Ohio, and we have some pretty alarming data. According to the Ohio State Highway Patrol, July 2020 was the deadliest month on Ohio's roads since 2007. A total of 154 of our fellow citizens died. That certainly is incredibly sad. Speed was one of the major contributors. The number of motorcyclists killed was up by 52% as compared to the previous July. Fatalities involving pedestrians were up 113%. For August, provisional data shows 122 people were killed. Research by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that 94% of serious crashes in the country are due to driver error. So obviously the vast majority of these are preventable. When I became governor, we started really focusing on highway safety. We've significantly invested in improving the physical safety of Ohio's roads through new engineering and construction projects. I thank the General Assembly for the additional money to do this. This includes the launch of a new intersection safety program to improve the safety of 150 rural, urban, and suburban intersections across the state of Ohio. And they're on their way, well on their way. We're also adding high visibility crosswalks, street lighting, signage, and signals at hundreds of intersections throughout Ohio to make them safer for our pedestrians. Because more than 30% of all crashes involve young drivers, 30%, we developed the Ready Test Drive program to better equip new drivers with crucial driving skills. We also launched the new Youthful Driver Safety Fund to help juvenile courts create advanced driving programs for juvenile traffic offenders. And because distracted driving is such a huge contributor today to auto crashes, to auto fatalities, we've created several distracted driving corridors in Ohio, which are high enforcement, low tolerance zones for distracted driving. And finally, one of the things that is not done, we've worked with Senators Coonsey and O'Brien in the state legislature to introduce the Hands-Free Ohio bill in February to get tougher on the use of wireless devices while driving, those individuals who are using those devices while driving. That bill is pending. It's a good bill. It's supported by every safety group. It should have bipartisan support, and I would ask the General Assembly to move on that bill. It will save a lot of lives. Today I have two announcements that build on this work to make our roads safer. First, I will be signing an executive order to create the new Ohio Traffic Safety Council, which will be led by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. The council will be composed of representatives of several state agencies, as well as outside groups, including law enforcement, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Students Against Destructive Decisions, and several others. The role of this group will be to coordinate and monitor all statewide traffic safety initiatives, analyze the results, analyze the trends, and advise my office on innovative ways to create safer roads through the 4 E's of traffic safety: education, enforcement, engineering, and emergency responses. To talk more about this new council and the problems that we're seeing on our highways is Colonel Richard Fambrough, who heads the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Colonel, thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Governor. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you for your support. During the early months of the pandemic, we saw a significant decrease in traffic volume as well as crashes, fatal crashes in particular. By the end of April, 28 fewer people had lost their lives in traffic fatalities on Ohio's roads as compared to 2019. That's about a 13% reduction that we were enjoying. April, additionally, was the second lowest month overall for traffic fatalities in over 13 years. as Ohio began to open up, we saw a definite uptick in crashes, fatal crashes, and a significant increase in the speeds at which vehicles were traveling on Ohio's roads. During the month of, or actually as of today, we have issued over 2,200 citations for 100 or more mile per hour on Ohio's roadways. That is a 61% increase when compared to the same time period in 2019.
Colonel, 2,200
Yes, sir.
citations for people who are driving over 100 miles per hour.
Yes, sir.
That's unbelievable.
As you already indicated, July was the highest month for fatalities at 154 people losing their lives on Ohio's roadways since 2007. And a third of those fatalities were the result of unsafe speed. And as you so eloquently put it, pedestrian as well as motorcycle fatalities were increasing as well. And since the end of April, that 13% cushion that we enjoyed, we are actually 32 more lives lost as compared to where we were in April. And for that, we are alarmed. You know, the Highway Patrol and our partners, we take very seriously those deaths. Those are family members, loved ones that have lost their lives on Ohio's roadways, and we take that personally.
Colonel, talk to me a little bit about, and to our viewers, a little bit about the Highway Safety Council that we're going to be creating by executive order, and how you think that can be of help.
Yes, sir. Those 4 E's are significantly important to our quest to provide the safest roadways possible in the state. Bringing together our partners from local, state, and federal entities that all have a significant amount of knowledge and resources to bring to bear. And partnering with the Department of Public Safety, we feel like that collaboration, that ability to share information, and really provide a think tank for us to address some of the most significant problems that the state faces where traffic safety is concerned. You know, some of the things that council will be taking on are the youthful driver problem that we have, taking the lead where distracted driving is concerned, also combating impaired driving, and preparing the state of Ohio for the autonomous vehicle technology that is upon us.
Colonel, talk a little bit about distracted driving. As I mentioned, there is a bill in General Assembly that you've worked on, and I wonder if you could just talk maybe a little bit about the problem connected with distracted driving and what you and the troopers are seeing out there on the roads.
Well, current day, the offense of distracted driving is a secondary offense. So you have to actually witness another violation in order to take enforcement action on a distracted driving type violation. It makes it significantly difficult for law enforcement, not just troopers, but law enforcement in general, to get our arms around that problem. I don't think anyone has to look very far as they're driving down Ohio's roadways, whether you're in the city or in a rural area, and not spot someone that's distracted, whether it's by a cellular device or some other type of technology. It is a significant problem that we face, and one that we need to have the support of the General Assembly to obviously get our arms around that.
Final question, Colonel. If you had to tick off 3, 4, 5 causes of these crashes, of these fatalities, what would they be? I guess you'd guess speed, drunk driving.
Yes, sir.
What else?
Speed,
what else?
Driving. Unbelted motorists continue to be a significant problem in our vehicles and in those crashes. Obviously, distracted driving, as well as we've got the motorcycle and pedestrian fatality issues. So all of those are significant issues. Speed continues to be one of the #1 causative factors in crashes.
Colonel, thank you very much. Thanks to you and the men and women of the Highway Patrol. Thanks for what you do every day to try to keep us all safe out there. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Phil. We appreciate our partners too.
You know, another major problem is work zones. We've all been through work zones, and sometimes we may get upset. It may hold us up a little bit. But what we may not know is how often these work zones are a place where accidents occur. And so we want to talk a little bit about that today. Last year, there were more than 6,500 work zone crashes. This year, there have been 2,300 crashes so far, certainly despite fewer cars on the road. Because enforcing traffic laws can be a challenge in work zones, the Ohio State Highway Patrol aviation team, which already conducts speed checks from the air, will now start putting a targeted focus on crash-causing violations in construction zones. So we're very, very concerned about this. The Ohio Department of Transportation has identified several locations where the aviation team will patrol at a higher rate. ODOT Director Jack Marshbanks is here now to talk a little bit about these construction zones and what we're seeing. Director?
Governor, thank you for your stalwart leadership throughout this pandemic. What the men and women of ODOT who are on the front lines keeping the system in a state of good repair, a system upon which we all depend, what we're seeing is that there are still far too many people who are not slowing down and moving over when they go through these construction zones. As the Colonel mentioned, excessive speed and distracted driving appear to be the main causes of these work zone crashes. Thus far this year, even though we've had a far lower traffic volumes, as you mentioned, we have seen 46 serious injury accidents. And tragically, 12 precious human beings have lost their lives in these construction zones, 5 of them being ODOT contractors. As you noted, to better protect our employees and our contractors, we've partnered with Colonel Fambrough and the Highway Patrol to set up airspeed enforcement zones around the state. And there are going to be lots of them. And we're going to continue them not only this year, but into next year. Some of the construction airspeed enforcement zones include I-75 in Allen County, US 23 in Wyandotte, I-70 in Clark County, I-71 and I-75 in Hamilton County, in Belmont County and Washington County, I-71, US 33 in Athens County. When you're traveling through these, when people are traveling through these construction zones, they're going to see signage alerting them that their speed is going to be patrolled by air. So what we're about is improving safety, following your direction, your leadership to make Ohio safer when people are traveling on its roadways.
Well, it must be very scary for construction workers, Jack, who are out there. If we've lost, did you say 5 this year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have. And these people have to go out again after near misses. We've had several near misses. And it rattles people who just want to go home to their families every day after work, just like you and I do, sir.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. It's something we, I don't think we really think about when we drive. We see a construction zone and is what it is. But, sometimes we forget there are people out there who are building that road or repairing that road, and people whose lives are really in our hands as and other drivers. And so I guess the message is slow down, stay awake.
Slow down, move over, stay alert when you're driving through these construction zones, Governor. People's lives literally depend on it.
Director, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.